Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the parable of the madman. For those who didn't still make the connection, we're starting in midday, because the parable of the madman is a title from a story of by Nietzsche Friedrich that speak about the madman is going down the streets of the town with a light in midday, and saying for people, where is God, where is God? And then he said that if we killed him, how did we accomplish that kind of victory, killing the God? So this is why we're starting in midday. So this is the connection, because people ask why parable of the madman and why in midday. So this is the connection with Friedrich Nietzsche. Okay, so today I'm going to show you to make introduction with part of our project. Okay, when we started Eureka Community as a agenda, as a concept, like everything in the world, we needed money. Okay, raising money as donation. Okay, it's very hard, because in the end of the day, beside the satisfaction, okay, that it's important and doing a good thing is very important, in the end of the day, you don't get anything. In part of the country, the money is tax free, so like the government encouraging people to donate, but we didn't want to count only on donation. Okay, or a donation at all. So we establishing our community based on local businesses. If it's our own businesses or collaboration with other businesses, in order again to raise the money to build a community. We're doing the same everywhere, maybe in Africa and the Middle East. It's low tech, what we call businesses like pig farm, chicken farm, and whatever, in order to finance. And I think this kind of thinking, to build humanitarian or build community around businesses, is not only smart in a way that you always have an income. Okay, it's smart because you making other communities strong, or other businesses strong, and this way one is feeding the other, and then everyone is happy and the system run. In Portugal, we started a few months ago. I think it's 2 or 3 months, and we, as you can see, we are controlling the social media. We are everywhere. You can reach us. We can reach you. But there are things that you might don't know yet. We putting in the link. We having a fundraising campaign, okay, for building a education institution in our community. But how we going to do it? Again, for people that in their country, it's not a mandatory right, like we have here in Europe. Okay, that in Europe it's obvious that the country should build the schools, but in most of the world, in Africa and the Middle East, people doesn't have this privilege. For them, it's a privilege to go for a good school. Even in South Africa, South America, they have maybe the same problem. Maybe the country built, but it's not good enough. And remember, we don't hide our agenda. We are social democrat. We are promoting democratic humanitarian values, and we're doing it by education. We don't believe in force. We don't believe in taking an action in provocative way. So we're building schools, but again, we say we don't want it as a donation only. So in order to build it, we offering a memorial project. What does it mean? You know, those buildings that it's named after a famous person or a billionaire that donate the money in order to have his name on the wall. So you can be this person, okay? In affordable payment, in a very easy payment, you're not only doing good thing, building good education for other people, okay, for kids that can have opportunity to succeed in life. You also can have your name, and the present of mortality is a great present. Your name or the name of your loved ones can be flag up high, and of course you can visit it. They can invite you. It's a great gift. You know, I always say that I saw people buying land on the moon, and you know, land on the moon is less practical, but people like creative, authentic, or original gifts. In this gift, if you give it as a gift or for yourself or whatever, you want to do a good thing, but in also to return something, it's a great opportunity, because those houses, those institutions of education, I don't find the words in English to describe how much good your money will do. Okay, it's not only for yourself. I have a building or a tree or whatever on some country. You building educational system in countries that doesn't provide it. Those kids, and this is what we speak. Equality doesn't mean that everyone is the same and getting the same. Equality, it means that your to success is the same. It doesn't matter if you come from rich country or poor country, a rich family or a poor family. Okay? Everyone deserves the opportunity. How do you give this opportunity? Is by good education. So I'm calling everyone to check the link, check our website, register for this. It's affordable amount to everyone, even in a minimum wage. And the good that your money will do, it's so much for a long term. Even here in Portugal, there are two types of education. You have a formal education that it's mostly part of the system in the country, and you have informal education. Even here in Portugal, we're trying to build an informal education institution in order to provide the youth and the young people here tools to success. For example, one of the institutions that we are working on building is what we call right center for immigrants. As you understand from our agenda, immigration is a good thing. Immigration is like powdering in nature. You know, when the wind is taking the seeds far away from his origin in order to spread and grow again as new trees or new plants. This is what immigration do, because everywhere we need immigrants. It's part of the natural thing of every country. But what we don't want is to change the what we say, the hardcore, the DNA of the country, because then this country will cease from exist. So in order to do it, we need to teach immigrants how to fit in, okay, how to fill in, to be part of the society, because we see once you're too hate or xenophobic against foreigners, what's happening? It's very Homo sapiens, a very natural thing. If you push someone, he will say, "Oh, you don't want me? I will create my own community," and then you have country that's falling apart between tribes. But from other hand, you don't want to to swallow and erase people culture. We don't want to erase the roots of the people, because it will not change. I'm a former Israeli or a former Jew. I will always will be like that. Maybe my kids or grandkids will be Portuguese, but I don't want to erase my heritage. I just want to fit in. So the right immigrant centers is the way for immigrants to fit in, to understand the system, to understand the political situations, to be much faster part of the country they are in, and it's going to be all over Europe. So this is, again, if you want to take part, so those kind of buildings, we can name people after that. So we are, again, trying to raise money for good purpose in a way that you also can be benefits from it. So this is on part of our own project that we are building now. I'm calling everyone to check the link, and if you have question, you can reach us and ask. One thing, our competition is ended. A link to the annunciation of the winner is already in the comments, or will be in the comments in a few minutes. So congratulations, I think Pamela is the one. So congratulations, you won €50. If you want more, we will start a new competition next year. So stay tuned, what's it called, and of course don't forget to subscribe here in Facebook, in TikTok, in Instagram. We don't, by the way, it's not boring. You will not see the same content everywhere. We are having different contents for different channels. If you want to be part of our channel, okay, if you have great ideas and you want to speak, give us a call, connect us. It's very easy. In our website, there is at least 5 ways to reach us. If you want to say something, if you want to give another approach for things that we speak about, how to fight cost of living, how to make our life a little bit easier. If you want even to speak politics, you can call us, you can make a connection, we will get you online, even maybe you can get invitation for our studio, and you're all welcome. We want to hear you. Again, I will say it every show, because this is true. Without you, we are only words, we are good ideas. With you, with your help, with your like, with your share, with your follow, we can make good things, because we can bring a lot of things cheap or affordable, okay? But if no one will buy, it doesn't mean anything. Because in the end of the day, we said our agenda is to make the minimum wage affordable, to make this €705 or 700 something euro, that you can live from it, okay? And it's your responsible to be a smart consumer. Check us, investigate, call us, make our life, for example, in our Eureka Market, there are, highlights, what we call products. But let's say you didn't find what you want. Write down very easily a chat bot, and it's not a bot, it's a real people that's sitting in the next office, that you will tell them, listen, I'm looking for that and that, arrange it. In a few minutes, you will get a link with affordable price. Again, smart consuming may be consuming time, but time is money. Yes, you can pay very high in the store or wherever, or you can check, making a comparison and choose. In the end of the day, you have the right to choose. We don't force, and anyone cannot force you to buy from them. Okay? How they can force you to buy from them without competition. So nowadays, I don't know who thanks to, but thanks to the EU, in the European Union, it's very easy to buy outside of the country. Okay, so use us in order to save your own money and leave it in your pocket or in the bank, or have something for saving for a rainy day. So let's start with our next part. We will speak about real question that coming from other communities, and we will discuss about it. The first situation is concerning for what we call consent. Okay, consent in sexual relationship. What does it mean? And I'm not speaking legally because we are not lawyers, and whoever looking for legal advice should advise with lawyers. But we're speaking in the idea. Okay, because these days, or let's say 30 years ago, in order to have intersexual course, like in a nice way, you didn't need a full consent. Okay, there is a phrase that says full consent, and what does it mean? Because this question is arrived after, in some countries, you don't need any consent. Okay, as long as it's not by force, okay, then it's rape. So there's nothing wrong with it. But we living in the Western world, that someone, the other partner, it doesn't mean girl or boy or whatever the pronouns they choose, needs to give a consent. And then what is this consent? If saying yes is okay, saying anything is okay, and let's say they say yes. Every yes is a yes. And because we have this privilege living in the Western world without the burden of wars and life, let's say, like in other countries, we have the time to think, to say, this is part of the satire against this kind of discussion. They say, I saw a video, I will find it and put it in the links, to show, again, it's a nice progressive thought about consent and how people will react with each other, and then people say, "Oh, you're killing Romans," and then I saw a nice video that demonstrate how much ridiculous maybe this progressive thought can be. When a guy say girl and see girl and he told her, "Oh, you look nice. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Maybe you don't want to look nice." And she said, "No, I do want to look nice. You are cute too. Oh, sorry, I don't want to offend you. Maybe you don't want to be cute." And this is like how the conversation can be in a very ridiculous, progressive. But again, the grounds needs to be logic. Okay, consent is not only meaning yes. Okay, consent is a state of mind that I control my action. For example, if someone drunk, he cannot give a consent. A minor cannot give consent, even if they say yes. A patient cannot give a consent. An employee cannot give a consent, even if they say yes. The foundation of the state of mind that I can control my action, when it's no longer exists, so there's no consent, or at least there's no full consent. This is why in workplaces, when you're having an affair or a romantic relationship, you need to report it. Because once it's out there on the ground or on the air, okay, you have more liberty and more freedom to choose your action. When you hide it, again, you hide it. So you need to report that you are having a relationship with your boss or with the boss of the boss or with other colleague. But the meaning of consent can easily disable so many minds in the field that can after, and again, I don't speak criminally. There are criminal action like using roofies or using drugs, or that it's using force, that it's black and white. It's illegal. This is for sure. I'm speaking in the ground that it's gray. Okay, you and her, or you and him, drink few drinks, and then you end up in a sexual situation. Again, I don't want to speak about the legal aspect, the criminal, because again, it's black and white. If it's illegal, it's illegal, and even there, it's out of discretion of the police and the DA. But let's say that in the ground, okay, if you cannot, both are not in a state of mind of controlling your action and things happen, and no one and someone feel forced, okay, it's a problem. So this is why I'm saying when people drunk, I know it's easy to say, hard to do, but if it's in the back of your mind and say, yes, I will make a relationship, a sexual relationship, only with a full consent. When full consent means, in definition, the full power of action, or that I can control my action, I'm sure that people will be more responsible for their action after. Okay, because again, if someone is drunk and you are not, you cannot take advantage. So if it's not a full consent, if both of you are drunk, it's not a full consent. And yes, maybe it's killing romance or killing the heat of the moment. But everyone is knowing each other in order to say I'm drunk or not. But I know these topics are very, very complicated. And again, me knowing evolution and not knowing in the way of academic, I acknowledge that evolution is written in our DNA, that not all our action is by a choice. Okay, even though and the power of horniness is stronger than rationality, but even so, I want to hope that those kinds of things, once we saying out loud and say yes, we will make any connection only in a full consent, it will be easier. Okay, so this was one question about consent, and so we said consent is the ability, the state of mind of having a full option of to choose our behavior. Another question that we have is about religious customs of gender separation. Okay. And gender separation, in majority part of the world, the society is much more conservative, and it's okay, or at least it's built in, the separation between boys and girls in for some situation. For example, sports education, they separate the boys and the girls because they're understanding that anatomy is different between boys and girls, and so they or for example, religious person separate between male and female. So how can we respond for that? The guidelines is always the same. This is what I like about our agenda. It's giving guidelines to act almost everywhere. It's something that's fit. It doesn't matter where we are. In the Western world, it's much more freedom, or in Africa or in other part of the country of the world, it's less freedom. But the guidelines are the same. We need to respect the person that it's in front of us. From the beginning, we spoke about consent. Even if it's not sexually, let's take a hug or a handshake, for example. Let's see two people as a full autonomy. Okay, we say all people born free. Everyone have their own body that are full autonomy on that. No one have ever the right to violate your body. It doesn't matter in any way. And you have, like every country, a territorial area, okay, that we call personal space. There's country more than others that respect the idea of personal space, but think of that. It's on the same point of consent. You cannot enter my personal space. Furthermore, you cannot violate my body without my consent, full consent. So if I don't know if you're comfortable with handshake or not, I will not do it. From the beginning, like out of respect for you, I will not put my handshake in front of me. Let's say it's custom. In this country, everyone know, in this country is custom to handshake. Okay, this is the proper way to do it. So again, it's a very different from from country to country, but from culture to culture. But if the guideline is the same, that I need the consent from the other part. So if there is a doubt, I will not do it, because when there is a doubt, don't have a doubt. This is, I don't know if it's a phrase in English, but when you have a doubt, from the benefit of the doubt, don't do it. So we honor and respect the person that is in front of us, and because we don't want to violate his personal space, furthermore his body, okay, so if we think, or if, of course, if we've been told she or he doesn't shake hands or giving hugs, just don't do it very easily. I know it's part of maybe human needs for affection, but affection you can do with your beloved ones. You cannot force affection on others if they don't want to. The concept of consent is so strong, and it's so life-saving, that if you will adopt this concept, it can help you get out of a very, very large amount of situations that are uncomfortable. So this is our show for today. I will remind you always, we need you. We need you to be part of our community. We need you to be part of our audience. We need you because you are the real life. We need you in order to understand what is missing for our life to be a little bit better. Okay, we cannot change the world. I don't believe that, of course, not one person can change the world, but together we can definitely change the reality to our benefit. And we see it everywhere. Once you combine a lot of interest of people together, okay, you can move things forward. And if we speak in the cost of living, of course, if the government lowered the tax or whatever, of course the government has some responsibility for that. But there's other option to approach those problems, and this is what we bring to the table. We need you to do this in a large scale. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel, give us a call, join us. So see you next year on Monday. Have a nice day.